Well, hello there, NECA. It is Monday. We are going to you live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you and your family and your team are all staying safe. You know the drill by now. Every Monday, we bring you a brand new member of NECA's team, of NECA's wider stakeholder network to give you great information on how you can get more out of the NECA family. And it is lovely. I really look forward to this every Monday. You are such a friendly bunch. There's always so many great comments from the NECA family all across the nation. So let's see who we got. Kelly Lamp is coming in. Kelly is here, a real regular. Kelly, it is great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Justin Smith is coming in. Justin, cool baseball cap. I tried a baseball cap, Justin, and frankly, it did not work for me, but it works for you. We've got Ray is coming in as well as Wilbert and Paul Winger. Paul, great name. Paul Winger in Idaho. A fabulous name. That's the sort of name that at some point I'm certain I will see on the news. Oh, it's another good name. Terry Crank. Great name as well, Terry. So I think, isn't it so nice that in this era of social distancing, these LinkedIn lives, Facebook lives, and YouTube lives are a lovely way for us as the wider NECA family to come together. Even if we're socially distanced, doesn't mean we need to be socially isolated. And our promise to you is every single week, we will give you something that will help you grow the impact of your business, protect your business, widen your reach, widen your network, even educate, and maybe even a small bit entertain yourselves and your team as well. So I want to make sure that as many of you are getting involved as possible. So if you are tuning in now, do me a teeny tiny favor. Why not tag in the comments, because this is live. This is not pre-recorded. Look, I've got a little live sign over here that says live. It's genuinely live. Tag in one of your colleagues, someone from work. Tag in one of your stakeholder networks from across the industry. Tag in your boss, your friends, your family, your cousins, your pet. Why not? They would love the show. I've also got some little balloon doggies up here. Big fan of those. So tag in, because we want to make sure that we reach as many people as possible with these great LinkedIn live sessions, because every week it's always a brand new topic. And this week we're going to be talking all about the exciting world of risk. And you know, here's what's funny. About a year ago, people might have said, risk management, it's not terribly exciting. It's not really my thing. Then all of a sudden, I don't know if you noticed or not, a teeny tiny global pandemic hit. And all of a sudden, we all wish that we had planned for risk a little better. But if you are joining this episode live, you are welcome. If you're watching it on the replay, you are welcome as well. Let us know in the comments if you're watching the replay a little bit later. And also, do make sure that you are joining our LinkedIn family. Did you know that we've got over 23,000 professionals from the industry who have clicked like and follow on our LinkedIn page? So if you haven't done that, what the heck are you doing? This is the biggest network in the whole world of the industry. You'll get to learn about cutting edge education. You'll get to learn about the legal and governance changes that are affecting your business. And also, it's a great way to connect with the NECA network, with NECA staff, and with colleagues as well. So you've got to make sure that you are part of that too. So click like, click follow. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. And if you're on Facebook, click the like button, and we will make sure that we keep in touch with you all the time. Now, this week, as I mentioned, we're talking all things risk. And clearly, as we look back over the last 12 months, risk is something I am certain that we will all wish that we have spent a little bit more time considering. And today I've got the great pleasure of talking to Jef Fagan, NECA's General Counsel and Vice President of Risk Management. Now, you might be wondering exactly why risk is important for you, but I am certain as we navigate these uncertain times, it will become really obvious why we should give it due attention. And Jef, I'm delighted to have you join us. Thanks for joining us here on LinkedIn Live. How are you?
David, I'm doing great. I'm down here in our brand new DC office, and we're hard at work. You know, it's always a pleasure to be on with you. You're a good friend of NECA's, and you know, it's good to see you again.
Look, I really appreciate. I know you're all busy. You're constantly working and settling into that wonderful, amazing new office space that we got a little look around as part of NECA Live just a few months ago. But look, I'm really curious. There's a lot of people watching, Jef, I'm sure, who perhaps haven't met you in person or even virtually. Could you tell us a little bit about your role in NECA in a nutshell, and what should the companies who are watching and the professionals know about you, your department, and the work that you do?
Well, sure. Yeah. First and foremost, David, I'm a member of our leadership team, what we call the Management Operating Committee, or MOC. And in that capacity, I meet regularly with the other leaders of the organization and do strategic planning and budgeting and things like that. But a little more specifically about me and my role here is that I'm, as the general counsel, I'm really responsible for all the legal affairs of the organization. I manage some outside counsel. I do a lot of the legal work internally in my department. And I also serve as risk management vice president. And as we'll get into a little bit today, legal and risk management are sort of tied at the hip. And so it's a natural fit for me as the VP of risk management and the general counsel.
I think what I love about the contractors that I meet at live and in person and at the virtual NECA events is that these contractors love to roll their sleeves up. They love to be at the front line of their business and focusing on what makes a difference. And for that reason, they may not always see why risk is an important area for them to consider, for them to plan for, to have as part of their long-term strategy. How does NECA define risk management, and what can companies out there do to manage their own risk?
Yeah, well, David, that's a great question. And, as you noted, that 2020 is sort of the poster child of why it's necessary to manage risk and plan for risk. And, I can give you some specifics on how we've dealt with COVID-19, and we're still dealing with it. But risk management is relevant for all businesses. And, our trade association and our members certainly need to be cognizant of risk and liability, insuring for risks and mitigating risks. Basically the process that you ought to go through is, as an organization, is you should survey all the departments in your organization. Then you should, once you get a survey from each department in their subject matter knowledge, whether it be accounting or human resources or government affairs, and then you have to prioritize the risks. You have to say, okay, what is it that keeps you up at night in your department? So you prioritize the risks, and then you have to look and say, which risks can we tolerate as an organization moving forward, and which risks do we need to mitigate? And then you need to decide how to mitigate those risks. Do you insure those risks? Do you eliminate those risks? But the bottom line is that you need to be aware of the risks, and you need to have each of the stakeholders in your departments analyze those risks and bring them to the forefront. So that's the process that we're undergoing here at NECA National, and what we intend to do is to do it for ourselves and then be able to educate our members and help them out as well.
And I think that education is so key, isn't it? Because NECA National has huge resources, allowing them to look at risk in a very different way, at a different depth, at a different level of governance and completeness that, frankly, for busy contractors, they simply wouldn't have the time to invest in. And I think that's why it's so important that members leverage their membership to get the most out of it. And of course, safety is a big part of any discussion that we have around risks. Can you tell me, how are the safety team working alongside your team as part of the risk management vision?
Well, safety is always the number one priority for us as a trade association. Safety in the workplace, safety in the industry, and frankly, NECA has been a safety industry leader for over 100 years. We do a tremendous amount of work in the area of safety, working with the federal government, working with state and local governments, putting out trade publications on safety, doing conferences on safety, educational materials, site visits, all kinds of stuff. And the way safety works with risk management here at NECA National is it's in my department. So the risk management department has subsumed or swallowed safety, and I'm the management operating committee leader over safety now. And when we do the analysis here at NECA National about risk management, safety is going to be a huge part of that. And we're going to continue the work that we've always done in codes and standards and safety moving forward. And we're really excited about how safety is going to play a key role in risk management here for NECA National.
And I know very recently, only last week, NECA posted about the US Department of Defense's new priority, protecting warfighters and defense industrial base from cyber threats. It's a hot topic that everyone has been exploring at tremendous detail, but it can still seem a little esoteric. What are the high points NECA followers should know about?
Sure. And so backing up just a little bit, we have a small but a growing contingent of government contractors amongst our membership. We certainly have contractors in different areas of the country that do work directly for the Department of Defense, which is relevant to the legal alert that you mentioned. But here at NECA, we are continuing to grow our government contracts, educational output, our government contracts, alerts, to make sure that we're providing services to that segment of our membership that is out there bidding on federal jobs, bidding on state and local jobs, so that we're full service to our folks. The DoD cybersecurity alert that you referenced is a good case in point. The Department of Defense is really the first federal agency that has come out with mandatory cybersecurity self-assessment requirements. Those self-assessment requirements became relevant at the end of last month. So there's a process that companies that take Department of Defense money have to undergo in order to make sure that their websites and their other their email systems and their other cyber systems are compliant with federal requirements. And we used some good friends of ours, the Center Law Group, and Design Data collaborated on really an IT and legal alert for our folks. It's posted on our website and it's been distributed to our chapters and our membership. And we're excited about that. But that's really the tip of the iceberg. We're going to continue that government contracts education moving forward for sure.
And of course, the industry is going to continue to deal with COVID-19 all the way into 2021. And frankly, Jef, probably beyond. People keep talking about this new normal. The truth is there is no new normal. It'll continue to shift and change through time. So look, how should companies plan for the changes entering, number one, the new year, but also being aware of the fact that there is a vaccine on the horizon and it looks like it could be rolled out pretty quickly? What should contractors be doing?
Yeah, well, so the first thing that they need to do is they need to have a COVID-19 plan. You need to have a plan for, testing. You need to have a plan for workplace assessments and health screens. You need to work, our members need to work with the local union and try to come up with a plan to attack the absences and safety and the health in workplaces. Our members are also going to have to realize they're going to have to work with owners and the folks that they're working for to make sure that they understand what the requirements of different job sites are. And I have two areas of focus that I'm looking at from a legal perspective, and that is I'm very interested to see what happens in the area of contact tracing, and as owners require contact tracing, and our job sites that our members are working on require contact tracing, how does that dovetail with privacy issues and human resources issues, and frankly, bargaining issues for our members? So that's one area that I'm very interested in. And then I'm very, very interested in what's going to happen when the vaccine vaccines become widely distributed and available. For example, what is the law going to do with employers who feel like they need to mandate vaccines? How is that going to go with folks who are, in the anti-vaxxer group, or folks that, for some reason, refuse? Maybe it's a religious reason they refuse to be vaccinated. How is that going to play in the workplace? Are you going to be able to get on a plane if you don't take the vaccine? Those are all issues that, frankly, the law has not had to deal with, and I'm going to be watching with a very keen eye. And obviously, our NECA Coronavirus Resource Center will be populated with legal alerts and education to help our members as the law develops. But it's really a fascinating human resources area, COVID, and how COVID is going to impact the workforce.
So, Jef, for anyone watching who is suddenly now realizing after this episode that really I haven't invested enough time in considering my own exposure to risk, planning for it in the future, what one piece of advice would you have? Where should they reach out to? What should be their first port of call?
Well, look, if they're NECA members and they are used to perusing our website and looking at the resources, we have a coronavirus resource center on the website. We also put out alerts on a regular basis. We're putting education together. Our future conferences, be they live, virtual, or hybrid, are going to have components that deal with coronavirus and the loan process and the stimulus plans. Our government affairs folks are hard at work on the Hill, lobbying for our members' interests and making sure that not only does Congress do the right thing by our members, but that our members understand what Congress has done, which is a big key. So we're going to continue to work. It's not going anywhere. 2021 is going to be a slow roll as far as change goes, and we'll be here for our members, every step of the way.
Jef, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I really do appreciate it. I know all of our members appreciate your openness and your honesty and your accessibility as well. Jef, if anybody wants to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Well, they can reach me via email at jef@necanet.org. Just shoot me an email. I'm happy to chat with them.
Super, Jef. Thank you so much, and hopefully I'll catch you. I was about to say at another, but what I mean is next year. Hopefully I'll catch you at some point next year. And fingers crossed, in the flesh. I still haven't got to visit this beautiful new head office, but the moment the borders are open, that's the first place I'm going to. Thank you so much, Jef. Take care. Have a good one, buddy. So lots to consider. And it really is true, isn't it? When we look back 12 months ago, how many of us were really spending time considering our exposure to risk, the amount of time that we spent as business owners really investing in considering the strategy that we have around risk and how our own strategy manages for it. Then all of a sudden, as I mentioned, a teeny tiny global pandemic comes along and suddenly that risk becomes incredibly important. So I want to thank you all for joining us. So let's take a look at some of our comments. We've got James Beard is coming in from beautiful Indianapolis. Beth is joining us. Nice to see you, Beth. Hopefully I'll catch up with you again soon. Steve is saying, what's up, Pete? I think he must be talking to my buddy, Peter Mastrocco. Terry Crank is still with us. Let me see. Eduardo is coming in saying hello to NECA. Shelby, nice to see you, Shelby. Shelby is a regular here. Shelby is here almost as often as me on these. So lovely to have so many of you. And Ty Addison as well from beautiful Los Angeles. Well, look, from everyone here at NECA, we hope you are staying safe. We also hope you are staying busy. You have our best wishes, not only from me, but from everyone here as part of the NECA family. And don't forget to tune in next week because we are back for our final one of the year, our final LinkedIn Live of the year. Then we will see you bright and early in the new year after that. But remember, get it inside your diary. I will see you next Monday for another LinkedIn Live.